Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel, Attorney E Immigration Lawyer. In today's episode, pag-usapan natin immigration options for nurses. I know everybody's excited sa amnesty or proposed amnesty plan ni President Biden. But marami po akong natatanggap na emails and inquiries from our Filipino nurses. And I prepared a short presentation para pag-usapan natin yung mga requirements and yung mga steps kung ang plan nyo or ang goal nyo ay mag-migrate sa US at makapag-practice ng inyong profession as a nurse. Okay? Before that, I want to introduce myself. My name is Attorney Elaine Antonio Bordeaux. I'm licensed in New York. I'm based in Colorado. I've been practicing US immigration law for more than 10 years. If you need a consultation, please email me, eborlaw@gmail.com. Okay, let's get started. Itong presentation na to is for educational purposes only. This is not meant para maging substitute sa actual consultation with a qualified immigration lawyer. Okay? So, lagi akong tinatanong, ano ba ang mga options for nurses, especially mga Filipino nurses natin na either nasa Middle East or nasa Philippines or nasa ibang bansa. Okay, so merong most common 3 immigration options para sa mga nurses natin. So after this, I'm gonna talk about the visa screen requirement kasi yun napaka-importanting ng requirement na yon. And we're gonna go over that. So let's start with the options muna. So ang EB3, third preference category, ay isang klase ng employment-based application. Nagbibigay ito ng green card kung maaprubahan. Ito ay isang option for our nurses. And right now, ang processing ay current ngayon for consular processing. So this is a very good option for our Filipino nurses. May mga requirements and I'm gonna go over that later on. Ang pangalawang option naman, yung TN visa, ito yung para sa mga citizens of Canada and Mexico. As you know, marami tayong mga Filipino nurses na nakapunta ng Canada and became Canadian citizens. So pwede rin silang tumawid or magtrabaho sa US using a non-immigrant TN visa. Mas madali ang proseso nito and it's a simple non-immigrant visa application. Pero kailangan pa rin mag-comply ng visa screen requirement. Another option, yung H-1B. Pero ang H-1B will only be granted if the position is qualified as a specialty occupation. Ang H-1B visa ay non-immigrant naman siya. So hindi siya nagbibigay ng green card. It's a temporary work visa na po pwede rin siyang i-renew and then later on, yung worker naman ay po pwedeng i-sponsor for a more permanent visa, which is an EB3 or an EB2 visa. Okay? So for now, marami pang options na pwedeng pag-usapan pero we're gonna limit it to these 3 options na common. Mayroon din tinatawag na Schedule A occupation. Dito pumapasok ang professional nurses. Ang ibig sabihin nito, ang government ng US na-determine niya na meron talagang shortage ng professional nurses sa US. So maganda yun because it makes the petition faster and I would say easier than other types of petition for workers kasi hindi mo na kailangang patunayan na merong shortage of professional nurses in the US. So meron ng government determination na meron talagang shortage of professional nurses in the United States. Hindi lang ito pang nurses, meron pang ibang mga occupation under this. All right, so okay. So kung ang plano mo ay ang goal mo ay magtrabaho sa US bilang isang licensed nurse, ito ang mga steps na pwede kong ipayo sa iyo. Okay, to attain your goal. Of course, number 1, obtain your degree in your country. So kukuha ng nursing degree in the Philippines. Number 2 is obtain your license in your country. So you have to obtain yung license mo sa Philippines, which requires, of course, yung passing ng examination And of course, yung passing ng mga requirements ng Philippine government for licensure. Okay? Itong mga susunod na test naman ay magfo-fall na to sa visa screen certificate or visa screen requirement. Um, I I will just briefly discuss this, pero late in the next slide, we're gonna be talking about the visa screen certificate ng mas elaborate. Okay, so number 3, pass your English proficiency test. So merong English test na kailangan. Kasama ito dun sa visa screen. Of course, pass the NCLEX test. Ang website to go to para makapag-schedule ng exam and information ay ang www.ncsbn.org. So nandiyan ang information nila on how to schedule, on how to register, kung saan ang location, how much ang cost nito. So you can prepare for that. Actually, this is the best opportunity para i-comply ninyo itong mga requirements na to, because definitely merong shortage dito sa US and definitely merong need. And definitely my US employers who are willing and able to hire Filipino nurses. Hindi lang Filipino nurses, pati yung nurses sa ibang countries na makakwalify nitong mga requirements na to. And for Filipinos, hindi mahirap tong mga requirements na to. Okay, so after the NCLEX test, get your visa screen certificate. Okay, may isang requirement pa dito, but i-merge siya dun sa number 6 kasi you have to know what state you're going to practice. Kasi dito, iba't ibang states, di ba? May kanya-kanyang nursing licensure requirements. And on number 6, work with a healthcare recruiter. If you're gonna work with a healthcare recruiter, they know kung saan kayo ipi-place, kung ano yung mga requirements for that particular state, kung saan kayo magpa-practice. So make sure na aalamin nyo rin yun. So if your intended employment ay sa Texas, you have to know kung ano ang mga requirements for licensure sa Texas, or kung sa Colorado, sa California, and your recruiter should be able to help you. Okay? Para sa visa screen certificate, ito naman ang website, www.cgfns.org. Ang visa screen certificate naman ay ni-require ng immigration law para sa lahat ng healthcare workers na gustong mag-practice, makakuha ng occupational visa to the United States. So kailangan yan. And I'm gonna go over kung sino itong mga healthcare workers na to. Kailangan mo rin ng US employer to sponsor you. Your recruiter will be able to help you. And of course, file the appropriate petition for you. So make sure na ma-comply mo itong mga requirements na to para walang hassle dun sa petition mo when it's filed. And of course, arrive in the US after the approval with an immigrant with a green card or non-immigrant visa, depende kung ano yung proseso na ginawa mo, whether it's an EB3 or a TN or an H1B. Magkakaiba siya ng proseso. And your immigration lawyer should be able to help you with that. Okay? So ang visa screen requirement, isang napaka-importanting requirement. And if you're really planning to work in the US, ito talaga yung dapat na mag-focus ka on complying. Okay? Kasi required siya ng batas, Illegal Immigration Reform and Immigrant Responsibility Act of 1996. Lahat ng foreign nationals seeking to enter in the US for the purpose of performing labor as a healthcare worker, other than physician, is required to complete a screening program. So para doon sa mga physicians natin, may ibang proseso naman sila. So itong visa screen ay kailangan before the healthcare worker can receive their occupational visa. Kahit yung mga mga Canadian citizens under the NAFTA agreement, yung mga kababayan nating from Canada, they still have to do the visa screen requirement. So ito yung mga healthcare workers na kasama dito sa visa screen requirement. Number 1, registered nurses. Number 2, licensed practical or vocational nurses. Physical therapists, kasama rin. Occupational therapist, physician assistants, yung mga PAs, audiologists, speech language pathologists, clinical laboratory technicians, medical laboratory technicians, clinical lab scientists, and medical lab scientists. So sila yung mga healthcare workers na kasama dito sa requirement na to. And I gave you the website, I gave you the information, yung mga kailangan nila. So ano ba ang kasama dito sa screening program na to? Okay. Number 1, yung assessment ng yung education. Wala tayo, if you're coming from the Philippines, wala tayong problema dito. Actually, marami pang ibang nationalities na nagpupunta na sa Philippines for medical education. So, confident tayo, of course, dito sa mga elements na to, sa mga requirements na to. So, number 1, assessment ng education mo. Making sure that it's comparable to the US graduate in the same profession. Okay? Number 2, a verification that all professional healthcare licenses that an applicant ever held are valid and without restrictions. Okay? Number 3, kaya nga ito, di ba, sabi natin, doon sa requirement natin, kailangan license ka doon sa country of origin mo. So, kailangan license ka sa Philippines. Number 3, yung English language proficiency examination. Wala din tayong problem dito. Okay. Meron silang note, CGFNS does not accept the at-home versions of English language proficiency exams. So for more information about this, go to their website. So in the earlier slide, nandun po yung website nila. Okay, for registered nurses only, a verification that nurse has passed either the CGFNS qualifying exam, NCLEX RN, or for select years and provinces, its predecessor, the State Board Test Pool Examination. Okay. Yung mga applicants naman na nakatanggap ng visa screen certificate, ay nagsisatisfy na sa US federal screening requirements. So yun ang importansya nitong visa screen certificate. And your petition will not get approved. I mean, your process, if you're in the adjustment process, hindi siya ma-approve without the certificate. Okay. All right. Okay, so that's our presentation for today on the visa screen requirement and immigration options para sa mga nurses natin na nasa Philippines or nasa ibang bansa who are planning or may interest to work in the US as a nurse. Thank you so much for watching, and to schedule a consultation, please email eborlo@gmail.com. Meron kaming Facebook page, Attorney E Immigration Lawyer. You can check it out. And also, please subscribe to keep posted on the latest immigration updates. Okay, that's it for now. Thank you. Maraming salamat po. Attorney E.